Well, welcome and good evening, everyone. I'm Cheryl Benton. I am the head tomato of the Three Tomatoes. We are a website and lifestyle guide and newsletters and a podcast and events for grown up women. And joining me here tonight is my beautiful daughter, Roni Jenkins. She's a founding partner of the Three Tomatoes, and she is also co-author of More Martini Wisdom and also our first book, Martini Wisdom. And she also happens to, as I said, happens to be my daughter. So this makes it even more fun tonight. And by the way, More Martini Wisdom is the 14th book that we have published under the Three Tomatoes book publishing imprint, which we launched in 2019. So, and the whole idea of that was to really mostly focus on getting women published. And we have so many stories to tell, and our voices need to be heard. And we're so happy that we get to share our book with all of these other wonderful authors who we've had the honor of publishing too. So we are so excited to have all of you here tonight to celebrate the publication of our book, but also to have a party. We all need fun this year. And tonight is our time to have fun. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to share some martinis. We're going to have some entertainment. Thanks to some of our very talented friends who are joining us tonight. And we may even have a little wisdom along the way. Who knows? But first, to get this party started, we have our friend, Karen Nason, who you're going to meet live in a few minutes. But Karen is the owner of the beautiful Grand Central Wine Bar in Gorham, Maine. And she has prepared a little video for us tonight to show us how to make the perfect martini. And we're going to watch that now.
Hey everybody, it's Karen. Do you miss me or what? I miss you guys so much. So, Merry Christmas, and nothing says Christmas better than a good kick-ass martini. So, a true martini is always with gin. Just my favorite. But you can use it with gin or vodka. First things first. Always ice the glass. So, what I like to do for all of my customers is to chill the glass. So while you're preparing it, you're gonna just pour your water, put the glass right there, right? Do a nice chill, correct? You're gonna get out your dry vermouth, but you are not gonna, with a dry vermouth, you are not gonna put much in there. I personally like my dry martini or my dirty martini with very little vermouth. Some people just really literally spray a little bit. So we're gonna do a very little bit. And so we'll start with the gin. Good 8 pour is correct for a martini. So, ice first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm a good girl. Santa thinks so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And again, when I say a smidgen of vermouth, just a smidge of vermouth for me. I don't like much. So, you've got your vermouth and your martini. I'm going to now take out my chilled glasses, pour them out. I'm going to take my martini juice, my dirty juice, which is the olive. So, just a splash will do it. Just a splash to make it a dirty martini. This is your olive brine juice that's when you buy your olives, it comes in that juice. It's wonderful. So I'm going to take my shaker now, and I'm going to shake it up. Usually you guys probably have a, professional kind of tin, whatever. Bartenders like to be cool, and they like to shake it up like this. So I want a good shake. Shaken, not stirred, as James Bond would say. And God knows I always wanted to be pussy galore. So, there we go. Shaking my martini. I want to get all of that chips if I can. Right? We've got our olives. I'm gonna set it down. Gonna get my olives ready. Shake it one more time. Got your strainer. Voila. Voila. I got two beautiful, beautiful, dirty martinis. So, see how pretty they look? Dirty martini, if you just want it with a straight vermouth, very dry, you would not put that dirty juice in there. I'm gonna toast to you all. I miss you guys so much.
Well, we're so happy to have you, Karen, because you're going to be here live, right? And we pre-prepared our martinis a little bit. I decided to do one with a little twist tonight. But I want to do a little toast to my daughter and to everybody who's out there on our new book. But in our first Martini Wisdom book, we actually dedicated that to Dorothy Parker. And she has the perfect martini toast. And that is, I like to have a martini, one or two at the most. 3, I'm under the table. And 4, I'm under the host.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I hope we gave the instructions and ingredients in advance. So I hope some people may be joining us with that. And if not, martini, your beverage of choice, whatever it is. But if it's non-alcoholic, we can't be friends anymore. I'm just telling you that right now. Anyway, Karen, that was awesome and amazing. So a little bit about the history of the martini. Like the dirtiest of martinis, the history of the American drink is a little slightly murky as well. So one prevalent theory is that the town of Martinis, California, where historians and town inhabitants alike claim that the drink was invented in the 1800s during the gold rush. Apparently a gold miner who had recently struck it rich decided to celebrate his good fortune at the local bar. So he requested champagne. They didn't have it. They just had the ingredients on hand. So the bartender just concocted something made with gin, vermouth, bitters, maraschino liquor, and a slice of lemon. And they called it the Martinez Special. And then it was born. So this miner who enjoyed that cocktail, and he tried to order again when he went up to San Francisco, no one knew what it was. So the new bartender said, well, can you recreate it? And then hence the popularity of this sweet drink was born, and it was first published in the Bartender's Manual in the 1880s. So we have to do this. We all know who made martinis famous, right? Mr. Sexy himself, our boy, Sean Connery. And we love Sean, so we dedicated our second book to Sean Connery, Mr. Bond, James Bond, who was named People's Sexiest Man Alive in 1889. I was only 2 years old, so I don't know about that. But really, it was James Bond who brought the vodka martini into popularity. And he also was People's Sexiest Man Alive at the age of 59. So we would call him a hot tomato. And cheers to that, and cheers to Mr. Bond.
So I think we have a couple of questions that we want to ask everyone who joined us tonight. And if you can put in some notes in the comments, and I know we already have a lot of comments that people are leaving, so thank you for that. But we want to know, who is your favorite Bond? And also, do you like gin or vodka martinis? So I mean, Karen told us that traditional is the gin, but I actually like vodka.
Me too.
Now, yeah, you do too. I know. So now I'm going to tell you just a little bit about how the Martini Ladies came about. So we started actually featuring the Martini Lady. It was really just one then. Several years ago, actually, in our newsletters. And we liked to feature her because she got to say very irreverent things and make pithy comments. And it was kind of the that little thought bubble that you have over your head, but you never actually say out loud. But because she's the Martini lady, she can actually say those things like, darlings, when he tells you it's not hot in here, it's just you. Don't you want to just put his penis in that mammogram machine and squeeze? So anyway, our subscribers really did learn to love they really did learn to love the Martini ladies. And then our friend Randy Levine Miller, who's also joining us here live tonight, we're going to meet shortly. She suggested, well, she said, I love those. Why don't you turn this into a book? And that's how the original Martini Wisdom book happened. And that was 2 years ago. And by the way, it became the #1 hot new release on Amazon. It stayed there for 3 weeks. And with your help, we know that we can get more Martini Wisdom there because we all need more Martini Wisdom, right? So, Roni, why don't you tell everyone how we went about creating our 2 books?
Yeah, so the first book, originally we started out with these little thought bubbles of the Martini ladies, which, by the way, we're thinking we may need to have you guys help us name them, but they may need to include some legendary Bond girl names, perhaps, like Octopussy or Pussy Galore or something like that, or Honey Rider. So you guys can help us with that. But so we would put up these little thought bubbles, and people love them from the Three Tomatoes. So we started to gather them together, and then one night we were maybe drinking some wine, maybe not, but probably. We were riding the train home, and we decided just to write a whole bunch of them. And in our hour-and-a-half commute home, and again, maybe with more giggles at that point than wine, probably.
And everyone on the train staring at us too.
Yeah, because we're laughing. What you guys don't know about my mom and I is that years ago, even when we would get together to talk about what we were doing with Three Tomatoes, sometimes we would just sit on the bed together and just giggle and chuckle, and we were like a who's on first, what's on second kind of comedy show sometimes. So anyway, that's how book #1 came about. And it did very, very well. So thank you for those of you guys who really supported us then and continue to do so now. And then book #2, More Martini Wisdom, came about over the summer. We decided, man, this pandemic really stinks. We should do something that brings about some levity and good cheer and brings in things like the silliness of toilet paper, and even more silliness that people would, God forbid, use vodka as hand sanitizer. Who would do that? It's for drinking. But anyway, so we sat on the deck one day, 6 feet apart, with our mask on.
And by the way, it's not, I want to add, it's not easy to drink a martini through your mask, but we figured that part out.
No, you have to squeeze it out and hang it up after, like I do my liver at the end of the week too. But anyway, so, and that's how More Martini Wisdom came out. So one of our favorite quotes from More Martini Wisdom is, darlings, when this pandemic is over, let's not tell some people. So cheers.
So Roni, you're going to talk about our book giveaway?
Yes. So we would love to give away a book to one of you guys who's joining us live, whether it's via YouTube or a Facebook channel. And we would love it if you could write, darling, I'd like more Martini Wisdom. And then at the end of this tomorrow, we'll pull a winner. And one of you guys will get a free book from us. So see, there are benefits to being on the show.
And now we get to have some of our friends join us. So we're going to introduce them and bring them all up on the screen so we can really have a lot of fun here tonight.
Well, hello.
Hey, Karen.
Hi again, Karen.
Well, hello to you all.
You transformed yourself from the Grand Central Wine Bar.
Yes, I did. You know, I'm good at that.
So, Roni, you're going to introduce Karen,
Yeah.
I believe.
So Karen, we met Karen back in 2014. And for those of you who don't really know what the Three Tomatoes is, we are a lifestyle guide for women over the age of 40, and we decided to pull together this amazing talent show for women over the age of 40. And this is women basically who may have had a career in the past singing or sword swallowing or belly dancing, whatever your talent is. We wanted to see it, but you couldn't make a living off doing that. And Karen came in and literally knocked the socks off everyone. And we quickly all became fast friends, like sisters, like our family.
Very,
very, very fast friends. And we love Karen for that. And when I tell you, this woman has chops like you would not believe. She was the house singer at Elaine's in New York City, if you guys know that. Karen is now up in Gorham, Maine, after making her way from New York City for many, many years. She owned a very successful florist. She ran for mayor of Hoboken. She had a place in Hoboken as well. And now she has this amazing, amazing wine tapas and bar called Grand Central Wine Bar in Gorham, Maine. And then she just opened up something called Karen's Ghost Kitchens up there in Gorham, which is this delivery concept of like 6 different chefs and menus and restaurants, and they're delivering it. But if you do get up there and you have the opportunity to hear Karen sing and be amazed by her talents, you would not be disappointed. Not only is the place absolutely beautiful and lovely, but Karen is fun as hell. So I love you like a sister.
Karen,
thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Karen,
Karen.
your dream came true.
Okay, and we are definitely going to plan a Three Tomatoes trip when we all can. We're doing a road trip to Maine.
Because who doesn't love Maine, honestly?
That's for sure.
We're going.
I know. So now we want to bring in our next special guest, Randy Levine Miller, my dear, dear, dear friend. I'm so happy to have you here tonight. She's also one of our Three Tomatoes partners. And Randy and I actually had this little seed of an idea like 8 years ago to do a talent show for women over 40. And we said, well, let's just try this and see what happens. And it's been this most incredible experience and just amazing talent that I feel like we discovered or rediscovered. And actually, and actually this year was supposed to have been our 7th talent show. And we had the amazing thing was, I think it was in late February. It was actually in early March. We had our talent show auditions and we picked our 12 finalists. And honestly, they are amazing. I mean, every year we've had great people. And unfortunately, we had to postpone it. So the 7th year, it will happen, but it's not going to happen until 2021. And you two over there, Roni and Karen, I might have to put you guys in the corner.
You're naughty children in the background.
So let me tell you a little bit more about Randy. So, she and I co-produce, she hosts it, she also performs in it. Randy is known as the hostess with the mostest, and for, great reasons, because she has hosted literally dozens and dozens of star-studded events at the places like the Friars Clubs and every cabaret place in New York City, and usually for benefits. And by the way, she really stepped up this year at the Three Tomatoes, because we have 3 city-specific newsletters that we produce. One is New York City, LA, and San Francisco. And let me tell you, it was not easy trying to come up with events the last few months. And Randy normally would be out every night at a Broadway show or cabaret, and she stepped up to become our Broadway babe. And she has found all this great streaming entertainment in the Broadway and cabaret. She keeps unearthing stuff every week for all of us to enjoy and watch. So we really, really love that. And now we want to bring in our next amazing special guest, Ellen Kay. We love you, Ellen Kay.
I know.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Ellen is amazing. We're so grateful to have you. And if anybody knows what a perfect martini is, it is Ellen. Oh, I love that. And your glass is so pretty. Yeah, I think we need a little cheers here.
My neighbor lent me this glass. I didn't have a great martini glass, so I went to my neighbor
I like that. I wish, see, I'm lacking the olives. I forgot that. It's called pandemic brain or something.
I did too. I put a twist in mine.
I want to borrow one of Ellen's olives, but Ellen has grown up. Ellen's parents are the famous owners of the Russian Tea Room. And Ellen, in her own right, has performed. She's an amazing, amazing singer, cabaret singer. She was a house singer at the Monkey Bar. She's played the Iridium. She's played so many places. She has a podcast. She has a radio show. She owned her own restaurant called Moscow 57, which was amazing. And I'm so honored to have been there and had what a beautiful place and so much fun. And actually Karen and I sang together.
That was a great night.
Yes, it was such a great night. And Ellen was
a good time.
And let me tell you, she is like right out of the Fabulous Baker Boys. I mean, you talk about the sexy mama that could get up on a piano and play.
Holy cow.
And that is Ellen. And now she's up in the Hudson Valley and just here helping us out. So thank you so much, Ellen. And thank you for your
thrilled to be here. This is the most interesting thing I've done in 8 months. You know, I'm hoping that if I do well enough, you're going to ask me again, you know?
Well,
we'll be sitting here where you
entertain us.
Exactly. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. And absolutely, you know, when we all can get together again, I mean, you three that I'm looking at in the bottom here, you guys are all dynamos, and thank you for coming out and help supporting us. And we love you guys.
Oh my God, we love you.
We're all really excited, you know? It's wonderful that you're launching something right now, I think. And it is the perfect time for more Martini Wisdom.
Yes, and it's something to do on a Tuesday night, because you know what? Normally, if like we were all in the city, we'd be at like Gramercy Tavern, like whooping it up, waiting for the storm to come in.
Exactly.
Yes, we would, and we've done that.
Exactly.
Moving down a taxi, getting in after 3 martinis at least.
Yeah. Or maybe a few more, but anyway. So thank you guys again. Karen, why don't we're going to jump into a little bit. Now, you went up to Maine and started this restaurant in November and poured your heart and soul into this thing. And it's
I actually, you know, my mom was not doing so well, so I had to come home and kind of, you know, take care. And I didn't want to come home back to Maine, and the state of Maine is so beautiful. I'm born and raised in Maine, but I never lived anywhere but Maine and Manhattan. So after, you know, 3 decades in Manhattan, I thought, you know what, I'll come take care of Mom for a bit. Not unless I bring New York back with me. So I opened Grand Central Wine Bar, and it is stunning. It's a cascading staircase, a wraparound deck. It's very much like in Portland, the top of the East. And it has a baby grand piano, duh. And in that baby grand piano is this, you know, beautiful, right down to the clock at Grand Central Station. So I pulled in lots of great piano players and singers and jazz singers. And we started out this speakeasy that's so cool. It's just, it was mind blowing. And from the second we opened, it just boomed. And then, of course, COVID hit. So, you know, I was open all of December, January, February, and then March 17th, we were closed.
That was like, in New York, we shut down on March 16th. So it was around the same time. And you're trying to gain momentum. And the challenge, I think, with you guys as well is that even though places were open in Maine for pickup and delivery, you guys have this gorgeous place on the 5th floor, which isn't really conducive to come for curbside pickup.
You're not taking the elevator for curbside pickup on the 5th floor to me.
No, and so you pivoted now. And you just recently, tell us a little bit about
that I am. What was I going to do? I can't, you know, a real true businesswoman doesn't give up. So why everybody else is trying to figure out, you have to reinvent yourself. And that's been my whole world, my whole life. Is you've got to take that 5 seconds, and that's all you get, to think, what am I going to do? I'm not going to fail. I'm not good at failure. So I read a bit about ghost kitchens happening in, you know, San Francisco, New York City, Boston, and man, the theory of it is correct. And there's a great song, by the way, and I think it's Rosemary Clooney. It's called Eat at Home. And it's all about traveling the world, but there's nothing better than eating at home. So I've recreated myself for yet the 100th time. And why Grand Central Wine Bar is, waiting for the...
Uh-oh. Right. Karen froze a little
Karen,
bit.
You just froze up. We hope you come back.
Yeah. I hope Maine's not getting...
Oh, yeah, you're back.
You're back. You're back.
Oh, hi. So I was waiting for all of this to sort.
Oh, Karen's freezing up a little.
Ghost Kitchen, and I think I'm very white right now, so I feel like, wow, I am that Ghost Kitchen that I said I am. It's so funny. I did that intentionally, everybody. So Ghost Kitchens are, I created 6 restaurants within one, and my Mykonos Mediterranean, my Bliss Bowl, my Backyard Burger, my Benny's, Brooklyn Benny's. It's the real slice pizza, thin slice that you fold in New York and you bite. Maine loves it. So I'm successfully, turning myself around so I can save Grand Central Wine Bar.
That's awesome. Amazing. I love that. And you're right. I mean, once you're an entrepreneur, you're always an entrepreneur, and you're always looking for something else and what little next endeavor you can get into. And we all wish you well and wish you the best. And right now, I think, everybody's heart's going out to the restaurant workers and Broadway and cast members and things like that. So good for you for keep on keeping on.
Keep on trucking, as they say in Maine.
Yeah. Keep on trucking. Now, Karen,
yes.
Are you going to do us the honor of maybe reading a little bit for us?
What do I need to do?
Read us maybe a couple of your little Martini wisdoms.
Oh, darling. Can I say that like Mae West?
We have this little book here.
Yeah. So I just want to know, darlings, who said this one, by the way, that I was a very, very good girl? It sounds like Mae West.
Yeah.
So should I just do it in my best Mae West voice?
Do it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
Absolutely.
Darlings, I was a very, very good girl. Well, most of the time. Maybe some of the time. Screw it, none of the time. But how does it go? I'll buy my own presents. That's what I'll do. I'll buy my own presents. A good man can make you feel very sexy. Actually, that's wine.
Thank you, Karen Nathan. Yay!
Hey, thank you, Karen Nathan. And again, if you guys are up in Gorham, Maine, by any chance, please do look up Karen.
Someone just wrote, wow, I like the way you think, Karen Nason. This pandemic is working out for me, and I don't mean to brag, but we always have to look for the good in the bad moment or situations. Hopefully, we will get through it soon. That was from Gloria Olivia. Brava, Karen. Elizabeth.
Oh my God, I love this. By the way, I'm like reading. I'm trying to multitask.
I know.
I'm reading on my phone with some of these comments from you guys. So please keep them coming. We love you guys. Again, remember we are giving a book giveaway. It's a humongous prize. Humongous prize. So darlings, give me some more Martini Wisdom, or I want Martini Wisdom, whatever it is, and we'll put you guys into the contest and get you guys into the hat for that.
So thank you, Roni, for reminding people that we are here to shamelessly pitch our book and have a little fun while we're doing it. So we would love you all to buy the book.
And if you want to buy
Amazon.
And by the way, blue cheese stuffed olives are just the thing.
Oh, those are the bomb. Those are 100%
forever. But who doesn't love blue cheese olive stuffed in your mind?
And as you can tell, we're all like into drinking our martinis now, which is really helping us be have so much more fun in our own eyes.
Right.
We're so much more clever when we drink martinis. So anyway, we thank
Absolutely.
you all for being. And by the way, the little poll I think that's going on the who is your favorite James Bond? And please put your comments in the comments box. And so far I think Sean Connery is kind of winning it.
Yeah,
So
I
No,
see
hands
Pierce.
down,
I
Sean
see a
Connery.
couple Pierce in there.
really, what
What
who
What do you
else?
think, Helen? Hands
There's a
down,
couple
Sean
Pierce.
Connery.
Right. Okay. So now moving on, because I'm going to bring in my friend, Randy Levine Miller, my friend and my dear partner. And Randy, you had this, you were the one who really pushed us into saying, you should turn that into a book. And I really loved that you did that. So thank you, Randy.
Well, I'm a very good motivator, that's for sure. But I loved reading these aphorisms, and I thought, this would be a great impulse item at Barnes and Noble or at the airport or whatever. And I'm so happy you picked up on it. And I told you I've got some ideas of how to make a buck, or donate to charity. But I'm so excited that this is the second book, and the two of you are the best partners. You really are. You are like you're a hoot. And when I look at the two of you, I think of the relationship I had with my mother, because you really are soulmates. And in addition to being mother and daughter, and you're both brilliant at what you do, and you don't interrupt each other, which is really very.
Oh,
Well,
never.
excuse me, Randy. I see Ronnie going like in real life. I think we do that. And actually, Ellen got to experience us a little earlier this week with our little mother. So
Oh, I loved it.
just to make it clear,
I loved it.
we are actually the typical mother and daughter relationship, which is not only a lot of love, but often a little conflict and a little difference of opinions along the way.
Yeah. But you know the
Oh,
funny
there
thing
we
is,
go.
Randy, that you said that. I mean, okay. Oftentimes we do finish each other's sentences, but do you know how many events? And tonight we are not, which is shocking. We all, by the way, agreed that we would dress up in cocktail hour because
Which
attire,
you
because
can tell.
I'm like friggin' sick of being in sweatpants
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
I mean,
and I wanted to put makeup on and like sparkling earrings.
Even though I'm wearing my bedroom slippers, but
Yeah.
I look good from the face
Yeah,
up.
I haven't worn them in months. I'll show you guys. I actually have fancy shoes on if you guys can see them. I don't even know how to
Did
do
I
that.
just see a boot?
I'm going to just parade around my dining room table later just to pretend that I'm doing something. But my mom and I have showed up at so many events literally wearing like the same outfit.
We didn't even know it. We're like, oh my God. And we have actually shown up at times and we bought the same whatever. It's kind of scary. So anyway, Randy, back to you.
Oh, enough about me. What about you? No.
Randy, what are you wearing?
Oh, enough about you. What about me?
I know. We love you.
Gee, but it's good to be here, as the song goes. Gee, but it's good to be anywhere during COVID. But to be able to be with friends and loved ones is a gift. This being here tonight is a gift. And I feel like we're all dressed up. And this is what I wore New Year's Eve. But really, we're all dressed up with nowhere to go. But it's a very exciting evening. And I'm thrilled to be here. And the first martini I ever had was amongst the very last. When I was young and really starting out in life, I had a musician boyfriend who played trumpet in the pit of Fiddler on the Roof, and he also was a composer. He used to do a lot of TV commercials. So I was too much information. So I was a virgin, but my mother always trusted me hanging out with Jack. And actually, I moved into the building I live in now because I didn't know how to do anything, but Jack knew how to make sakinis that were martinis with sake. But the first martini I ever had was at a place called The Lobster on West 45th Street. And I hated the taste of it. I just hated it. I mean, with the olives and all this other fakakta stuff. And then all of a sudden, I said, this isn't so bad. And the next thing that I knew, I swear, my head was on the table. And Jack literally had to pick me up to get me home. True story.
Oh, I love that. So, Randy, I think you were going to do this the honor. You picked out a couple of your favorite Martini Wisdom quotes from our current book, and I think you're going to read those to us. Yes?
I am. Okay, darlings. When I said I want to be alone, I didn't mean for months. I can relate to that because I have been hunkered down in Southampton with Hamlish, my dog, since mid-May. And as much as I want to be alone, I want to be with people too, just not all the time. Okay, so the other is, and this is true too, I really relate to this, and I'm sure every tomato here relates to it. If you have to ask if you look fat in it, change the goddamn outfit.
So,
I love that.
This is why we love unfiltered Randy.
Oh, listen, I have.
Randy's a little filtered tonight. We'll do another show one evening where it's called Unfiltered Randy, but it may be a little X-rated.
Oh my God, that would be
But anyway,
I'm in.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
So,
in.
Randy, I think. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
girl.
Ellen. What were you saying? Ellen.
Oh, no, Karen wants to come to that X-rated.
I'm in that one.
So do I.
I want to be
I think
the
Randy
third
is like Nikki Blonsky, not Nikki Blonsky, the other one. I don't know, some female comedian. I'm going to Google her.
And Randy knows everyone, but we never quite know. This is what makes us love her so much, because we never quite know what she's going to say next. And that's why she's the perfect tomato and the perfect martini lady. And Randy, Randy's a great performer too. And I put her on the spot, but I told her I was going to do this, and she's going to sing a little bit for us tonight.
well, I want you to know that I'm supposed to see my ENT on Friday because the voice is shot. But anyway, here goes. And this really says it all to all of you and how deeply I feel about friendship. Hey, old friend, are you okay? Old friend, what do you say? Old friend, are we unique? Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and I, we get continued next week. Most friends fade, or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, and in a pinch, sure they'll do. But our old friend, what to discuss, old friend? Here's to us, who's like us. Damn you.
Oh, you know what? That was actually perfect, Randy. And it's such a reminder. It's such a reminder to all of us right now how it has been so important. And thank God for technology, and thank goodness for technology tonight that has been able to keep us connected and keep us engaged with our dear friends. And Randy Levine Miller, you're one of the very special ones. So here's to you.
I credit you because otherwise I have no makeup on and I forget about the hair and everything else. It's because of you and what you have done to sort of build community that has been really wonderful. I mean, because it's important to stay connected. However, and I resisted. I told you I hated Zoom. I hate this. I hate that. I love it. The fact that I can see Ellen K and Roni and Karen and Valerie and you, my dear beloved BFF. You are one of my 4 BFFs in the entire universe that I would do anything for. And I do, because please, let's not even go there. But I do. I love you, Cheryl. I love you, Ronnie, who's sort of like, I don't know. It's like she's the ingenue in the group.
Oh, we love you. And that was amazing. And you're, I mean, your whole story and the thing is that what people also may not know is that when we do this Tomatoes Got Talent show, Randy produces this whole thing, and then we cull it down to these 12 finalists of 40 people who will audition or whatever it is, and then we get 12 finalists. And Randy really mentors these people, and she's got no filter, but she's kind. So even though she'll give you a perhaps constructive criticism, Randy's heart is always there, because she wants you to succeed, and she's just such a good person. And thank you.
No, except for my good friend from the High School of Music and Art who came to audition for us. I won't even go there. We have repaired the friendship. But when she came to audition, after I said to your mother, now listen, you're in charge, and you're in charge. I'm telling you, could you believe that? That means, I better not mention her name, that she's got to be in the show. Anyway, she came to audition for us. And again, we went to Music and Art together. And she was not wonderful, to say the least. I would have been embarrassed to have her on the show. If she's viewing tonight, she's going to divorce our friendship again. Unless we have perfection, I ain't in them, babe. You've got to be fabulous. And Karen Nathan really was an inspiration for so many people because, she's out there. She puts it out there. And her energy is so great. I'm so happy you won the first one, and we didn't even have to rig it for you.
No, Karen definitely hit the bar. But
I just wanted to say that Randy is the epitome of the unfiltered Martini lady wisdom, and that's why we love you.
Yes, we do. So that was amazing. That was amazing, Randy. But that's awesome. So Ellen, we're gonna move on to you now.
Oh, no.
Tell us a little bit about what it was like to grow up. Because you're awesome. What was it like to grow up with like the Russian tea room as your, little play area when you were a kid?
Well, it was as special to me as it was, I think, to a lot of the people who went there, even though it was my home, because we lived across the street, but I spent a lot of time there. But I feel like when people tell me how they feel about it or their memories and everything, they don't feel that differently from mine. Like I feel like it was really a special place, and it's funny that way. Like whatever the magic that was there, I felt it just as much as people who loved it, who were much older and went there for I don't know, half a century or something. So yeah, I loved it a lot. It was but it was a little intimidating as I got older because there were so many successful and famous people there. And, that was always a little daunting. But when I was little, I didn't know who they were. And they were just either very nice or I didn't like them.
Yeah, I'm so lucky that, just a little aside, my daughter had the pleasure of singing at Carnegie Hall. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe even 3, I don't remember. And we had dinner at the Russian tea room right before, and it's just, I bought my kids, and it was such a magical place. And I said, you guys don't understand how amazing this place is, and it's been around for years, and it's such an iconic New York place. So that's amazing. And then, what you did with Moscow 57 was just taking your talents and building on that and helping other people build on that too.
Well, I had two really great partners, Seth Goldman and Ethan Fine, and there would have been no M57, without them. So it was really, and then all the people that worked with us and all the artists that played there. It was a tiny little hole in the wall.
I loved it.
Actually, my mom used to call the tea room, or my dad did even before that, but we called it the watering hole And somehow I actually ended up like creating my own watering hole, but it was like that. It was just a small little joint, which you guys all came to. But
We love it.
I think that the tea room is just the essence of New York, you know, and that's what was so great about it. And at M57, which was like an homage to the tea room and to all the places that Seth and Ethan and I loved. You know, the little joints in the world, you know, so we just made a little joint of our own, but no frills.
That was awesome. But let me ask you a question, because if anybody's going to know this, like, and we don't, by the way, we're not endorsing any particular brand or anything, but to put you on the spot, because you do know vodka, do you have a particular brand that you like?
Oh, man. Well,
you know, I mean, vodka, gin. Karen made the gin martini. She's a purist.
I would totally have a kettle martini though, anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do a diplomatic thing. My mom just passed away, and I'll do a shout out that she was a Grey Goose woman.
All right, good.
And, but as a kid, I thought that Absolute had the most amazing marketing of anything I've ever seen. Like, I just thought their marketing was extraordinary, the artwork, everything that they did. So I'm not so sure how they stack up. But I also love all the Russian vodkas, you know, so even the cheap ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Pure gas.
Yes, there we go.
Russian
That's not so
standard.
cheap, though.
I
We
love
did
Russian
Russian standard a
standard.
few years ago. But Ellen, thank you so much again for joining us. And do you have a couple of quotes maybe you'll read?
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like this is one of those, you know, do or dare, like one of these things where we drink and then we see if we can still do it or something.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, while we're on, I love that you guys are. Oh, hold on a second, Ellen. I love that you guys are still on. Please keep commenting. By the way, we need your vote for your best bond. And if you want to win one of these books that we're happy to ship to you, please put in "Darling, I want more Martini Wisdom," or "Darling, give me a book," or at this point, we're at the end of the show, just whatever you want to write. Like, we'll ship it off for one winner.
All right. Are you ready? You want me to go? I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love what Karen did, I have to say. I mean, and I love what Randy did. I don't know if I really want to follow these women, but here we go. And I feel like I want to do Tallulah Bankhead, but I'm not a good mimic. You know,
do it.
I honestly don't know how to do her. I just remember her in the lifeboat. But anyway, darlings. And this is actually very true. Every day I struggle with whether I want to look good naked. And I love that because it's really true. Except in my case, it's Friendly's Vienna mocha chocolate coffee ice cream. And every night I tiptoe downstairs after Alan is asleep and the dogs are like kind of watching me and they think I'm a burglar, and I eat Vienna chocolate coffee mocha and ice cream in little tiny half cups because I read in the New York Times, Jane said you can eat a half a cup of ice cream every day. I don't know if that's true. But that's how I'm getting through COVID. I can definitely tell you that my ass knows what I'm doing late at night when I look at it in the morning. Now, to go to the next quote, darlings, and this I actually have a lot of affection for. If you think you'll regret it in the morning, sleep until noon. And today I almost did that. That's all I got.
You know, depending on the day. Thank you so much, Alan. We love that, and thank you for being so supportive of us. So
right, and we have this fabulous performance of Ellen's.
Oh God,
yeah.
Many years ago, when I was a young thing.
Young hot thing, and you're still a hot thing.
At the next ice cream
fetish.
So we're gonna play this video because I just adore this song, and I think it's absolutely perfect for right now. And I know, Ellen, you and every other person who's out, people are out there trying to perform, especially in New York City. It's so, there is no cabaret right now.
No.
And this is a performance of yours, I think, from the Metropolitan Room.
It is. I love the Metropolitan Room. And
Oh,
Bernie
I know. It was great. And
Really
we're gonna
great.
play this because it is fabulous. It is so Ellen. It's gonna pick everybody up. So we're gonna.
So you guys comment, please, while we're
And
Yeah.
drink.
Bless you. That's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shot down. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. That's life. Funny as it seems, some people get their kicks stomping on all your dreams. But I don't let it get me down, 'cause this old world keeps going round. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life.
That's right.
I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, but my heart just won't buy it. If I didn't think it was worth a try, I'd roll myself up in a great big ball and die. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life.
That's right.
I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, but my heart just won't buy it. If I didn't think it was worth a try, I'd roll myself up in a great big ball and die. That's life.
Wow.
Yourself.
I have to say, Ellen.
You're
That's
hot.
my mantra
You're hot.
right
I don't
now.
care what
That's
that
awful.
ice cream says on your butt. You're hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so we were not all talking over each other. That is such a fabulous performance, and one, it is such a song for our times because it is that life. It's about picking ourselves up, and it's about going on. And you know what? I was actually there that night in the Metropolitan Room. I think that was when I first met you, and I'm
I
like,
think so.
she is amazing. And by the way, I have to say, one of the things that really impressed me that evening was that you had that fabulous female jazz sax performer.
Yes.
And little
Claire.
known fact, this tomato used to play the tenor
Oh,
saxophone.
wow.
So actually seeing a female tenor saxophone part of that was just so awesome. So I just love it.
Well, I'm
Thank
so
you,
glad
thank
you
you,
remember
thank
that.
you. So we have
She's
one
great.
more.
And of
we
course,
have one
Sinatra would be
more.
so proud,
love
Ellen.
it, love it.
Oh,
We have
boy.
one more. We have one more special guest tonight, and she could not be here with us live, but she did a little video for us, and it's Valerie Small Joan, who's one of my my dearest, dearest friend. She is one of those people. She believed in the Three Tomatoes from the get-go. Actually did our very first event for us and was our very first contributor. Valerie is a big time media personality. She was the voice of 106.7 Light FM radio for many years, which was the #1 morning, radio show, music show in the country, actually, at that time. She's an actress, she's a producer, she's a host. She has a wonderful new radio show called Bagels and Broadway, although she's had to change her format a lot too lately. And it's also a podcast, and we just adore her. She also is one of the top audio voiceover people in the country, and she's the audio producer of our video audio books for our Three Tomatoes Publishing. So she has created and decided to give us a wonderful video tonight to share with you all. So she couldn't be here live, but she's here via video.
Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Roni. And hello, tomato fans. I'm so thrilled to be able to join you for this celebration as we honor more Martini Wisdom. It's the second version, and there is even more after this. When I hear the word martini, I just smile because I think a martini is such an elegant beverage. It could be so many things in your cocktail glass. And by the way, you might notice an enormous martini behind me in my virtual background, because yes, when I travel about, or when I have traveled about the city, having different cocktails, I tend to photograph every single martini I've ever had. It means that much to me. First, a martini screams elegance. It screams nostalgia and a beautiful time, a simpler time. And it reminds me of my childhood because my mom, although she wasn't a big drinker at all, and was a teacher and worked really hard, every once in a while at the end of a semester, she'd come home and make herself a classic martini, and my sister and I would participate. So it brings me great joy to honor the classic martini. So with that, I'd like to read from the book, as Cheryl asked me to do and asked some of us to do. And what I particularly liked about this version is that Roni and Cheryl really are reflecting our times today, where we are at this moment, the pandemic. So those are the two that I've chosen. So here we go with number 1. Darlings, the best way to avoid touching your face is to have a glass of wine in each hand. Problem solved. So true. And this is my personal favorite because it's all about Zoom, and it's true. Darlings, I'm so stressed from adjusting lighting, backgrounds, hair, and makeup for Zoom cocktails. I need cocktails for my cocktails. That is a truism. And by the way, talking about Zoom, do you know that they have a beta feature that you can get lipstick put on your face virtually, which I've tried right now, and it seems to work. Anyway, Cheryl and Roni, congratulations. Wishing you all the best with this new book and looking forward to book number 3. Cheers.
Oh, thank you, Valerie. She is so awesome. We're so happy she could do that for us.
She's like the cutest thing on the planet with that big giant martini.
She just is. I love the
I just
martini.
wanted to throw in that.
Better with that. So,
I know.
first of all, we want to remind we are giving away a copy of our book. So just write something in the comments. Anything you want to write, we'll pick a winner and we'll DM you and tell you you won. And before we close out, we put Karen Nason on the spot because she's going to sing a holiday song for us to take us out tonight.
Everybody,
Okay.
Martini's up.
Final cheers.
Martini's up. So
Martini's
I
up.
chose.
I gotta get my martini up. I have to confess, I poured some wine into my martini glass, but that's
Wait. Did you just say you poured wine in there? Because I ran out of my martini.
I know. I poured wine into my martini glass.
Yeah.
Karen.
You
Is that
did
called
not.
double
Karen,
fisting?
this is why we know we're sisters.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All right. So, Karen,
Okay.
Rob,
So
here we go.
I'm gonna sing just a very short version, and I'm gonna do it in honor of Judy Garland because she was my favorite. So here we go, nice and quiet, and then I'll just finish out. Have yourself a merry little Christmas, making Yuletides gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Let your hearts be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are near to us shall be dear to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together as the fates allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Karen, that was beautiful. That was so well done, and that was like the perfect song. So first of all, I want to thank all of our special guests, Karen and Ellen and Randy and Valerie, for celebrating our book with us tonight. Every one of you who has joined us here this evening, it's so special. We hope we brought a little joy tonight. Karen, that was a lovely way to a lovely song. And I want to do one little last Martini cheer to all of you here tonight joining us. And this is actually the very last musings in our More Martinis books. And it is you two, I don't know, Roni and Karen, they're like my two bad children gone wild. So let me just do the little last cheer here. And this is from the very last Martini musings in our More Martini Wisdom's books.
Oops.
How I had a little too much martini sips here tonight. But we love you all to try it. But here is the very last thought we want to leave you with, which is, darling, sunsets bring magical moments and remind us that we can all start anew. So that is the moment I want us all to go forward with this year. We have so much to look forward to in 2021. Vaccines, getting together, celebrating holiday cheer. I love each and every one of you. So thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Cheryl, we love you so much.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you for all.
Ellen,
I
Randy,
was looking on the comments. I couldn't even reply
Ron,
back when
Randy.
we were back. We will reply back tomorrow. And thank you guys who tuned in, whether it was YouTube or Facebook or in the future, because it will be archived. And again, we'll send out a winner tomorrow to one of our books. So.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Happy holidays.
and God bless everybody right now. You know, we're all going through trying times.
God bless us, everyone.
Every